right. 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Sorry, we're running a tiny bit late right here. We have a guest right now. I was bragging about Elesia this morning, by the way.
Yeah, you were.
When Dr. Mayer was in the studio.
It was great.
You know, we have worked with Elesia Carey for a long time. She has been one of the people responsible for making sure that we have some great guests. And at some point, she told Robin that she was also a fashion designer. And we looked at some of her stuff online. It's like, holy cow. I'm always amazed by talent. I'm always amazed when people can take nothing and make something. Mm-hmm. And that's always incredible. I mean, it's one thing to kind of copy other people, you know, but to make something new that nobody's done before, it's always amazing to me. And they're all around us, you know. And every time you find somebody who can do this kind of thing, you have to make sure they know that you appreciate them. Elesia, we appreciate you. Elesia is an international fashion designer, the fashion editor for Travel Girl magazine, and the owner of Couture by Elesia. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about fashion, specifically, my notes say, the back-to-school clothing trends and accessories, Robin.
Yeah.
I wonder how hip I am to any of this stuff.
Oh, she's great.
I have no clue.
Purses. She's wonderful.
Good morning, Elesia. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry and Robin. Every time I come on, Larry, you must be like a soothsayer or something. You always lift my spirits when I needed it the most. So I want to just thank you and that I'm grateful.
Oh, my gosh. I had no idea that I was doing that. Well, you know, I'm just saying what I'm observing. I'm observing somebody who has talent, and hopefully that talent is serving you, and because you're so good at what you do.
Well, thank you. I'm grateful to both of you, and that's a word that I try to use each and every second of the day, but this applies in more ways than you know, so thank you. And I'm honored to come on and talk about something that is close to my heart, which is fashion, and it is something that drives my spirit, so thank you.
What drives fashion? What changes the mind of a young person? I'll just focus on the young just for a second here. But a young person getting ready to go to school, how do they know this year I'm not going to wear what I wore last year? Because when I was a kid, I think I wore the same thing every day.
Well, right now, let me just start by giving you a couple of scary statistics when it comes to spending.
Okay.
I went to the National Retail Federation site and found that last year, in total, for back-to-school spending, including regular and college, it was $27.3 billion that was spent. And this year, they expect $29.5 billion.
That's amazing, isn't it?
And for the households, for last year, the average household spent $889. That was last year. This year, it's almost $1,000. It's $970 that they predict. Now, I say this to say something else. The thing about what drives fashion is pretty much like what used to drive the kids when they watched toys on TV and they said, Mom, I want this for Christmas. It's the social media, the fact that social media is at another level, and we are inundated with information and stars and people wearing things and all that we want, including adults. We just say, Mom, I want that. Dad, I want that. So
really?
the celebrities, yes, fortunately or unfortunately, the celebrities, everybody, political, anybody who children watch and look at, they want, what they're wearing. So we are, and I say we mean children, adults, everybody is driven for the most part by what they see. But one thing about kids that I've noticed and that I love is kids also develop their own style, and they'll do little things or big things. And a few years back, I'm not sure if you heard about how Nike used to send these researchers into, let's just say urban areas. I'm using air quotes here, and observe how the kids do. And kids do break out. They have breakout little styles and fashions that adults actually use because they actually they have that creative juices.
Oh, really?
Flowing. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, companies like Nike, Adidas, a few other companies used to send spotters out to, like I said, urban areas and look at how the kids are, what they're wearing and how they're wearing it, and they would use that as how they go. Yes, and they still do. They still do, but yes.
Alicia, are you being politically correct when you say urban areas?
I'm trying to be. I'm trying not. I'm trying not to do a Scaramucci here. I'm trying to for the audience.
Okay.
I'm trying not, but I can run wild if you want. But I'd like to dial it down for the children.
So, okay, can I see if I can figure out what you're trying to say right there? Are you saying that the rich, already established executives wanted to find out what the poor kids were doing because that's the style that will probably catch on?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that is.
And brands and major brands. I'm not saying every brand does it. I'm not saying I'm not going to tell you Versace does it or Ralph Lauren does it. He probably actually does a little bit of it. But I'm talking about like brands like Nike, Adidas, sporty. Various brands do actually come to certain areas to look at what is driving the trends, and they use that as their, as their template for what they design.
Do you know, that actually rings true. I can actually imagine that that's probably very true. And I would imagine also that the celebrities, let's say there's a popular movie and you see a star, this is going to show how old Robin and I are, but just I'll ignore that if you don't mind ignoring it. Robin and I watched this movie called Annie Hall, and I hadn't seen Annie Hall. I think I did see it years ago, but anyway, Robin said she never saw it. And so we watched it on her TV, and there's a scene in there where, what's her name again?
Diane Keaton.
Diane Keaton is wearing this, like a vest with a hat, with a tie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was a very, very, very brief moment in the movie. And throughout the course of the movie, she's wearing all these different fashions. But that one little flash was a very popular style after that movie. Remember? Mm-hmm. And so I'm guessing it's not easy to predict. Like, for example, if you take your fashion and you go up to a famous Beyonce or something and say, "Hey, could you wear this? It would help me out so much." It might, but it might not. You don't know. It's like a gamble, isn't it?
It is a gamble, and it's not easy to predict. I'm not saying if they do it, it's going to be a home run, but it's like, for example, the word trend or the word hot fashion or hot style. Unfortunately or fortunately, you can write a press release and use that word, and it becomes so. You know what I mean? It's like declaring it out. Yeah, I've seen it happen, and I do it too. Like literally just saying this is hot or this is the hottest trend. This actually gets people to turn. I know that sounds very elementary, but it is. It's simply that simple sometimes.
Well,
and also,
this is where your two lives come together. Because as a fashion designer, you can use your communication skills and get people to say, "Oh, this is the new style."
Yes, actually. You can actually just write a press release saying this is hot, and people want it. But then the other thing that I think has happened is people become very educated about fashion. I really think so. I think before they would wear any and everything, and I think now they're looking, and I think what makes the brand fail versus not, one is persistency. Two is being on point, meaning that you have to continue to evolve when it comes to clothing technology, if you will. You need to kind of explore new prints. You need to be a little bit adventurous when it comes to being a designer. So it's a lot of things. It would be great if your Beyonce wore your jacket or what have you. But I'm finding, and I'm talking from experience here, from my lips to God's ears, what it is you'd never be. It's not overnight, meaning you just wake up in the morning and you're kind of all over the place. It's persistency, it's consistency, and it's dedication, and it's belief that what you're doing is actually something that people want to wear or want to be a part of. So that's kind of what I hold in my head each and every second of the day, and I think most designers feel the same way.
How do you protect your creations? How do you copyright things? and then how do you take somebody to court if you say, "Oh my gosh, that's my style, that's my design"?
It's so funny. I don't even. I know you can, and I'm not at that level to do so. But I will if I do see some. But I do feel that most designers, like I look at a certain brands, they actually all kind of, copy each other. It's only, I think there's a certain level of which they can't go. You know, if you're going to copy a Hermes bag, you can't go all the way in. But I think for the most part, I see everywhere I go big name designers. I'm not going to name them on air because I somebody will go after me. But big name designers, or we'll take from higher end designers, and they will utilize their design and put them in their stores. And I've seen it all over. But I think it's like if you go all the way 100%, of course you would get sued. I'm sure if you go to a certain level, it's kind of frowned upon, but not necessarily a lawsuit.
Since we work in the mall, we have this large broadcast window, and this is like one of the main doors to enter and exit the mall. I see, and since it's back to school week and tax-free weekend this weekend, a lot of parents are bringing their children here to purchase clothing, shoes, things like that. I see more people leaving with the bags from the smaller stores than the huge anchor stores. Like Sears and Pennies.
It's so funny you segue nicely, Robin, into something I discovered. When it comes to shopping this year, people are shopping early. That's one, as you can see. They're also shopping online and discount stores, and then department stores, supposedly, and then the smaller stores. But what I think about the department stores, and I've seen the department stores, and God bless them, they are not as on trend. They're a little slower to embrace. They kind of like to go after staples first. Mm-hmm. You know, they'll embrace a couple of trends. But the smaller stores, because they have smaller inventories, do the quicker turnaround when it comes to trendier items. So your Sears, which has been around, I'm pretty sure, over 100 years or something like that.
Probably, yeah.
They are more safe when it comes to the type of things that they're buying. Now, the smaller stores are not. They are the trendier piece. But the thing about the smaller stores is they are limited when it comes to things like returns and exchanges. Whereas a place like Sears and the bigger stores, you can return it till till whenever, mm-hmm. Or Target. But that's kind of the trade-off that you get. That the smaller stores do carry a trendier pieces, and that's what we were talking about, Larry. That what kids want to see. If Beyonce is wearing this. I don't know why we're saying her name today, but maybe she'll hear it and say, "Oh, great! I'll buy a bag. I'll buy a bag from Couture." But yeah. So that's kind of that's what they're doing. The smaller stores are carrying the trendier quote unquote pieces.
Elesia Carey is our guest, and Elesia has become a friend. Her and Robin, you and Robin have really become close, I think. And you're in New York, and Robin's going to be in New York.
I am. I'm going up to see my son and his wife.
Well, Robin, you better come, and when you come, and I'd be more than happy to meet up, show you around, do something with you, anything with you. And before I forget, I want to give you guys some hot trends, if we do have time, that people are actually looking at.
That's right. That's on my notes. But I have one question about hot trends before you say that. What we see through the window here at the mall are ripped jeans, okay? And I know
a lot of holes.
All right, but I'm guessing that the schools don't allow that. So are there some hot trends that are just not okay for school, and then other hot trends that are outside of school? Do we divide the hot trends into two categories, acceptable and not acceptable for school?
The ones that I have are all acceptable for schools. There is the ripped jeans. I know the ones you're talking about. I own a pair. There's ripped. And then there's another level of rip that was the trend this summer. Basically, your whole leg is out. Is that the one that you guys are talking about?
Exactly.
I've seen them.
That's
it.
Yeah,
I've seen them.
Okay, that whole leg out thing that won't work in schools. The moderately ripped, where you have the knee and a couple of spots on it, that will work. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of what they do. And then another trend is skirts, mini skirts, denim mini skirts. Now there's a level of each school has its own kind of height requirements when it comes to skirts, but the ones that are right under your butt will not work. So I don't know how many inches that they're, but the micro minis don't work at school. Let me put it this way. They're called micro minis. Micro minis don't work. Minis work, but micro minis don't.
Now, how do you keep the parents from trying to influence their children about their fashion trends? Because sometimes, the parents' tastes are not what the child's tastes are. And what do you say to the parents to have an open mind and don't get in a disagreement with the child when you're going school shopping?
Well, I like to put it this way. I knew at the age of 12 when my mother and I did not have a good time when it comes to what was considered fashionable for me. But I want to say this to the parents out there. Just remember when you were growing up. I like to say that there should be hopefully some sort of come together when it comes to fashion. Let the kids be themselves. I really do. I'm being very honest. I think kids need to be creative, and if it's in their clothing, I say yes, but if it goes to a certain level, that's where mom and dad could kind of step in. But for the main part, kids need something where they can express themselves without it being controlled or colored by adults. So for the most part, I'm going to say, unless it's like basically, some sort of, like I said, the micro minis or what have you, and it's got to be a certain age. I'm saying let them sort of do their thing. If it's crosses a line that you're not comfortable with, you might sit down with your child or say, listen, could you do me a favor and just like lower that skirt? I mean, just do me just a little favor and lower that for me a second.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel that kids, their creativity gets stifled and it gets cut off. And I think that's one of the last areas that they truly can express themselves. So for the most part, I'm going to say let them be themselves unless there's a line that they cross.
That's a wonderful attitude and a great message. It's a hard sell though to a very stubborn parent who thinks that I can remember when when my son decided to grow a beard. I guess that was after school though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
or like when Robinson, what did he dye his hair white or something?
Yeah, he dyed his hair super blonde.
Let me tell you, Robin's 2 children and my son, I mean, these are 3 good kids, okay? They're all adults now, but when they were kids, when they were teenagers, and they were doing things, to find their own identity, that kind of thing.
But they all graduated with high honors, so they weren't slackers.
But when anybody would ever say anything, I would say, "Are you kidding?" I said, "That's the least. I'm not worried about that. That is them just being themselves." Do you remember when we were kids, we grew our hair long, or we braided our hair? Well, not the white kids did. Well, some of the white kids did.
Yeah.
But when you were doing all that crazy stuff, that was us being us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're being. I'm with you, Elesia. I love what you're saying right there. So
go ahead.
I'm wondering about the dollar amount. Here at the mall, they have a fashion show every once in a while, and as a radio station, we cover it. In fact,
and it'll be this Saturday.
In fact, our boss, is the MC of the whole thing. And I noticed that they will always say, this fashion is available at whatever store, and it costs $27. And I'm thinking, wow, that's a pretty good price, $27. Mm-hmm. So does price influence, I guess, what is hot and what is not?
No, not at all. Not at all. Honestly, kids love what they love. Price actually sometimes makes it sexier. In all honesty, it seems that kids gravitate towards the most expensive things, and parents want them to. Parents want them to do the Gap or what's the word I'm looking for, or some sort of discount department store. But kids
like
are
Old
gravitating
Navy.
towards. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what I think. Old Navy. Kids want Adidas sneakers. They want Nikes. They want certain backpacks. They want certain electronics. So as a matter of fact, they found that in terms of back to school shopping, the first thing is apparel followed by electronics. So they want the hottest, like one of the trends is like Adidas is just making this amazing comeback. I think they started like about 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know what's going on, but everybody wants Adidas sneakers, and each season they have different colors. They're doing the stands, and everybody loves them. So sneakers are huge, and in the fun colors that they have, and they're pretty good price considering they are, designer sneakers, so to speak. They're about $80, which is better than $200 or $300. So this particular kind of trend when it comes to that, I think is not a bad idea. But definitely, I think when parents are going to buy sneakers, they're going to need to do more than they're going to need to do more than one. They like to change them on. So,
is the beauty of the handbag or the purse, is it lost on the high school girls, and it's only for women over 18?
No, it's not lost on them. They want it. They just know that they can't get it right now, but they want it. But to be very honest, I'm on the train. I'm in New York City. I see 16-year-old girls with certain bags that I don't know how they got them, but they have them and they're showing them proud. So no, the 16-year girls know who the hottest designers are, and they want those bags, and they will pretty much do a lot for them. But while they can, they'll settle for a fancy backpack, and designers are making backpacks as well. As a matter of fact, one of the hottest trends in backpacks this season is just a velvet backpack. So they want to be grown. Guys don't care, obviously, but girls do want something that they see the celebrities are wearing. So they're aware of who the hot bag brands are. Couture by Elesia. I'm sure they know my name. Like, they're definitely running to, going online for that.
Yeah, so you have it.
Yeah, I'm looking at your Facebook page, and the first picture on your Facebook page is a young lady holding a red bag that you designed. And when I put this video together later on of this interview, I want to make sure I put the pictures with what we're talking about. So is that can we buy that bag right now?
Yes, you can buy that bag right now. You can just email, and I'm actually I've said it, but now finally I've found somebody who's great and who's building an e-commerce site with me. So the next time we speak, the e-commerce site will be up. So I'm very excited about that. But one of the things that is on there right now that I think is appropriate, and that's a trend, is statement T-shirts. So if you're on my Facebook page, excuse me, not my Facebook, my Instagram page.
Okay.
If you go to the Instagram page, it's couture_by_Elesia, you will see a trend that just sort of came out. And Larry, you asked me before about how things happen. And one of the things that I say to myself when I do anything, produce, be a publicist or designer, is I tell myself, be fearless and all this stuff. So anyways, out of my own self-motivation, my own mantras, daily mantras, came a T-shirt collection. So that's how things kind of come out. And this shirt is men or women, and it's I've got various things: be grateful, be humble, be fearless, be flawless, and it's on there. And a good friend of mine actually wore it on set. He is a stylist, and he wore it on set. And I thought, friendship is so wonderful when I see people support my brand. But it's basically the C, and then B, and then whatever the motivational thought is. So
I gotcha.
T-shirts.
I gotcha. Yeah.
T-shirts are now a big trend, and I wasn't thinking be a trendsetter. I was just thinking that I wanted to put it on. I wanted to just put it on a shirt. That some of the things that come out of my mind when I'm motivating myself, and it turns out that it's something that people like. So
nice.
I see you, Larry, in a. I see you, Larry, and I don't know, maybe a be humble T-shirt or be grateful, and
I will do it.
Robin, I see you, Robin, in a be fearless T-shirt, because I know you're fearless.
That's right.
I know you're fearless. I know you're a fearless woman.
I'm gonna get one.
I'm looking at the shirt right there. Okay, CB. So CBE is Couture by Elesia, but it looks like it says CB. C.
No, it looks C. But no, the C, CBE is Couture by Elesia, but the B, if you see the B, is in different fonts, so it's Be Fearless. You know what I mean? So it's a play on my name. It's a play on my name.
Yeah. All right, I see it. That guy looks like Will Smith, doesn't he? The guy wearing the shirt? Who is that?
He is a stylist. He works on a lot of shows, including Blind Spot and everything, and he's a fabulous guy. He happens to be a good friend of mine, and he wore it on set, and I thought that was so sweet of him to do that.
Nice.
All right, so I will make sure we send people to that site as well. We're up against the break, so we have to say goodbye. Instagram.com/couture_by_Elesia. And on Facebook, It's simply Facebook Couture by Elesia. Elesia, good luck with everything, and I hope we send some people your way. And if Robin doesn't see you this month, maybe we'll get a chance to see you, because we'll be back in November. We'll be back in November.
Well, I am. Just let me know. I will make time if there's even a spot for coffee or tea. I would be happy to see you guys in person. So, that's it. Thank you so much.
If you have a peephole on your door, and you hear me knocking, I'll be the big guy with the shirt that says CB large or something. CB.
You're funny. You're very funny.
Don't be scared. Now, don't be scared when you look through that peephole. Just say, "Oh, that's just Larry."
No, as long as I see the shirt, if I see CBE, I know it's on good hands. I mean, whatever follows that has to be good.
Oh my gosh, that was a great interview, Elesia. Thank you so much for everything you do for us, and I'm so impressed with your talents. Thank you for being on the air with us.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day, and be fearless. How's that?
Be fearless.
I love that.
I like that. Yes. Thank you, Elesia. We'll be right back.